Okay, start recording now.
Lights, camera, action.
So good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Imagine a life where everybody is kind, where everybody can talk to each other, where everybody is able to understand and comprehend what is happening with the other person.
Whoa.
Interesting, huh?
Yeah.
When I was 19 years old, I was in the middle of the jungle. It was my birthday. I actually decided to walk from the classroom where I was a teacher to my room, and to be able to walk all that space, I needed to walk basically a soccer field. In the jungle, there are no lights. There is no electricity. There is nothing. Where I live, it was 45 minutes away from the city in an airplane. It's like going through the ocean, but the only thing that you will see is trees and green all over the place. And after 45 minutes flying on a small airplane, you will land in this beautiful oasis that was the mission of Wasakensa. My birthday, I start walking from the classroom to my room. And when I was walking, I was asking myself, what am I doing here? What is it that I made that decision to be here? Mind you, I was only 19 years old. I was turning 19 years old. And I remember clearly walking, everything was dark. I didn't like to use my flashlight. So normal people normally put the flashlight to see where you're standing. I just, without the flashlight, I just knew that I needed to go that way, and I was walking by. And something that is really interesting is, even though I was questioning myself, what am I doing here? I can say that was the most exciting moment of my life. 19 years old, serving, helping people. I was a teacher. I was teaching classes all over the day. I was teaching physics, math, research, and other two classrooms I don't even remember anymore. But everything started because at one point I made the decision to do something. It was the perfect time. Now, many of you would think probably JC has always been like that, happy camper, amazing, things like that. But the reality, I was not. When I grew up in my town, I was never good for classes. I was never good in grades. I was always failing classes. To the point that in Ecuador, you actually need to take a test to go to high school. And I took 3 different tests in 3 different places, and I failed them. I failed them all. I actually was the beginning of the creator of the tears of my mom. And many times the discussion between each other, my dad and my mom. I remember the moment that I decided to go to the high school that they accepted me, Salesians. It was interesting because the school didn't accept me because I didn't have good grades. So my mom was crying outside of the school, and this guy passed by who was doing some business in the school, and he says to my mom, "Why are you crying?" And my mom says, "Because I don't know where to do with my son. I don't know what to do with him. He's not able to go to school. He's not having good grades. I don't know what to do with him." And this guy fell in compassion, and he says, "I'll help you. Come to my office. I work in the Ministry of Education in Ecuador. Come to my office and I will help you." So next day, my dad goes to the Ministry of Education of the office, and the guy says, "You know what? I'm going to write this letter asking the Salesians to accept you because they owe me a favor. And for whatever reason, I was inclined to do something when I saw your wife cry." So here I am with a letter of asking from the Ministry of Education, go to the high school and say, now I can be here. So they accepted me. But the next 6 years in education in Ecuador is the high school and middle school. I was constantly having issues because I never was able to have a good grade. That made me feel like I was not good enough. That made me feel like I was worthless. That made me feel that life doesn't have any sense, meaning nothing. And the only thing that I was expecting or I was thinking to do, it was the volunteer program, becoming a missionary. The first day that I got into the jungle actually was really interesting because the airplane flights, we didn't talk much, lands, and they're like, okay, welcome to the jungle. And I say, I want to talk to the director, to the person who's in charge. And the director comes and he sits with me and he's like, hi, I'm really always talkative, you know, like, hi, how are you doing? And so what do you want me to help you with? And the guy look at my eyes and say, you're going to be a teacher. I say, I'm sorry, you don't know what you're talking about. This fool over here has only F's in everything, like a failure. So I actually, to graduate, people didn't help me out. I didn't graduate with my own power, you know. And the guy said, I need a teacher. You will be a teacher. Here you have the keys. Here you have the pensum, the curriculum that you need to prepare. And if you need something, let me know. And that is how I actually learned how to study. I learned that I was capable because I knew I wanted to do something for other people. The mission ended. I went back home and I said, I want to study. I want to do something because I learned that once I improve myself, I'm able to improve other people's lives. Really interesting. I got my engineering in business, then I got 2 masters, and then later on I got my PhD. But everything because one person believed in me and didn't give me the chance to actually walk away. I was invited to come to United States. To be honest, I never imagined being here. I never actually wanted it to be here. I wanted it to be in Africa or someplace like that. But I ended up here. And what is amazing is the experience that I have in the jungle, I decided to make it happen here in the summer program that we have. And it has not been easy. But what is amazing is every year we have around 175 to 200 teenagers who want to come and give themselves to the community. And interesting is, why are they here? Many of them because they need to do service hours. Many of them because they actually need or they want to have friends. Many of them because they don't have nothing to do at home. So they are bored and they say, might as well do something. But yet the moment that we create this environment with youth actually is helping youth, it makes a huge difference. What are the benefits of being a volunteer? The benefits of being a volunteer is, number one, you learn social skills. And that is proven by the research that I did for my PhD. Why do they learn that? It's because they are in constant contact with other people, being able to talk, being able to say. Number two is conflict resolution. Most of the volunteers learn how to resolve problems. Number three is learning about who they are. Learning about their emotions. Learning about what they are doing. Number four is actually have the experience of culture, differences, diversity. And tell me, isn't that what we need in this world? This is something that we actually are in need of. More people who understand who we are. And let me tell you something, being a volunteer is not easy. Being a volunteer means that you need to commit yourself, that you need to sacrifice, that you need to deal with attitude sometimes. But in that getting out of your comfort zone is when you create a better world, where you create a better society. And what is amazing is the young people who are doing this, the biggest gift that they get is the sense of knowing that they can do something for someone else. And that goes connected to my question at the beginning. Imagine having a world where everybody's kind to each other. Imagine having a world where everybody is able to help each other out. And I think that is what being a volunteer means. Being able to transform your world and being able to transform the world of other people. For those who are volunteering, I want to say thank you so much for volunteering. I want to say thank you so much because you being involved in society makes a difference. For those who have not been volunteering, I want to invite you, go to shelters, go to youth centers, go to churches, and ask, what can I do? How can I help? And to be honest, there is a lot of people who need help. In the youth center that I manage in Los Angeles, we need constantly help. And it's amazing when you see people who start putting their gifts to help other people out. I had this lady that one time she says, I know art and I want to go and help. And just the fact of she coming to the youth center has made a difference. I have this group of teenagers that they say, I know how to do retreats. I want to do retreats, I can do that. And just the fact of them going and doing the retreat has made a difference. So if you haven't experienced what it means to be a volunteer, I want to challenge you. Go out and volunteer. But one of the things that is extremely important is when we do these type of things, we're conscious about what we are. We're conscious about what we do. Don't do just the things because needs to be done. Do the things because you're consciously aware of how you feel, who you are, how are you improving. Because those skills are going to be the skills that will help you in your life. I want to finish this talk by a quote of Dorothy that really grabbed my attention. It says, the biggest expression of democracy is volunteering. Because when you go and you vote, you do it once every so often, every so many years, and you choose what the country needs to go. But when you volunteer, you choose what you want your society to be every day. Thank you.